Hello YouTube. This is Blender. It's 3D software in which I like to dabble. Maybe you'd like to join me for a bit of dabbling? Sure, why not? Let's turn the webcam off. We don't need my face cluttering up the interface, do we? Apologies for the black bars at the side, but I'm recording this on a monitor with an unusual aspect ratio. It's not 16:9, it's 16:10. So obviously to fit it onto a 16:9 recording, which generally speaking is the standard size of a monitor, it has to whack a few black bars on the side. I could resize, but I can't figure out how to make Blender stay in a 1920 by 1080 window, so it's going to mean loads of faffing and less recording. So, let's do some recording instead of faffing, right? I think it makes sense. Anyway, here's a project I've been working on recently. Here we are, 40K Rhino Blend. Let's load it up, take a little look-see. It's an old school, let me go to the modelling page, here we go, and take it out of orthographic. There we go. This is an old school 90s style Rhino tank from Warhammer 40,000. As you can see, this is actually a pretty accurate model. The reference isn't exactly the same, but I've done, in my opinion, fairly well. It looks all right. Of course, it looks a hell of a lot better when you actually render it out like this. There we go. This is what it looks like when you render it out in cycles. What I've tried to do with this is recreate the painting style of the people who do the painting in White Dwarf magazine, so the heavy metal team and stuff like that. I don't even know if they're still called that. I haven't actually bought an issue of White Dwarf since the 90s. So excuse me if I got the terminology wrong. But what I've tried to do here is I've used edge masks and ambient occlusion to try and simulate a 3-layer edge highlight on all the raised edges and a Nuln oil wash in the recesses. And I don't think it's turned out looking too bad. If you render it, this is slightly grainy because I'm rendering at low samples just so, we can do it while we're streaming. But when you render it out in high quality, it actually doesn't look too bad. It looks fairly close to the original thing. Now, the eagle-eyed among you will note that the metallics are not fantastic. This is supposed to be lead belcher with a Nuln oil wash. But as you can see, it doesn't look fantastic. The wash is sort of visible here. Using an ambient occlusion shader, I've kind of got a bit of the wash here, but it's not fantastic. It's okay. Also, I need to smooth these exhausts a bit, because as you get closer, you can start to see the panels. Hello, Ginger. Welcome back. Sorry you tuned out. I should have warned you. We took a poll, and it was decided that instead of carrying on with the old Dwarf Fortress, I was going to try a bit of Blender, because I've been having a lot of fun with it lately, and it's quite good for winding down at the end of the day. So apologies. I did recommend another Dwarf Fortress channel, and let me just quickly do it again, just in case you're thirsting for Dwarf Fortress. Like the top person streaming right now is Self-Destruct King, but there's also a guy called Wave Depletion. Oh, and Bendy Fran? Bendy? There's only 2 people streaming. You'll see them. But, maybe have a look at them if that's what you're looking for. But, of course, if you're interested in a little bit of 3D art, maybe some, maybe some Warhammer 40,000 or similar kind of things, then let's have a little look. Of course, the way I've set this up, sorry for the digression, everybody there. The way I've set this up with the paint thing is because it's a layered procedural shader, I can swap out the colours. And what I've been doing to get the colours, for the Emperor, indeed. Indeed. Oh, look, here's my little decal that I did. Now, because I chose ultramarines, basically what I was going to say there is you can swap out any of these colours for any other paint scheme you want. It's the edge highlight is basically the same. And the colours I've used, I've actually taken from the Wikipedia entries for Citadel Miniatures paints. And they have hex values for each of the colours there. Although, as you can see, for the metallics, it's approximate. It's not the actual... It's not the actual real deal colour, because obviously it's hard to quantify the colour of a reflection metallic kind of thing. Anyway, I've got this here. I found the motto of the Ultramarines and put it on this little scroll here. The scroll outline itself is like an open source thing I found off Google Images, but I followed a painting tutorial that a woman did for enormous Titans, the Adeptus Mechanicus Titans. And they'd done like a couple of, admittedly they were 3D modelled on the actual Titan. She did a couple of paint jobs on scrolls that used different colours. And I did it in GIMP and just painted it in using a brush and a couple of layers, and I think it looks actually quite good. I don't think it's too bad. Of course, the motto of the Ultramarines is "Virtue ac gloria iter nos enim macrage," which stands for I think it's honor and glory for the name of McCrag. I forget. I had the English translation, and I did it. Google translated it into Latin, and I've now deleted the note on my desk. I don't actually know what it means, but still, it is the Ultramarines motto. And then I put together this little thing. I found a copyright-free wreath on Google Images, a Warhammer skull, and a Warhammer. What's that called again? Aquila. And I layered them together. It was a fairly painful affair. Let me show you the shader. This is the paint. This is the shading for it. In fact, this isn't even the whole shader. I've grouped it all up together into separate subparts. This part here, in fact, no, this part here is just for the decals. So these are the white Ultramarine logos. Excuse me. And these are all the parts of that skull thing that you've seen, and the let me just put the shading back on, and this little 8 logo here as well. So yeah, that's what I've been working on. Oh, of course, there's also this little flag I put at the end. I did the cloth simulator in Blender and just took something off of the Google image search for a banner, and I think it came out looking quite good. The material's not fantastic. I need to make it look a bit more, cottony, a bit more fabricy. But for just a placeholder, it looks pretty good. And you can. I don't know if I've actually got the animation done at the moment. Let's go back to the modelling. No, what is it? Layout. Oh, these are. I'm working on some purity seals. Here we go. If I press play, will it? Yeah, it will. There we go. I actually modelled the flag to find the right frame for it, and as you can see, it's not too bad. It's a little bit blocky, but I didn't want to go crazy and make it, really, really detailed, because it's going to be paused. No one's going to actually realise that it's flapping anywhere. So yeah, what else do I need to say about this? Oh, the ways this deviates from canon. I don't know if we can see it. No, I haven't done it. Can I click there? Camera. Background images. Oh, here we go. Here's the reference I was using. As you can see, I don't know if you can actually. Is it too grey? Well, we'll zoom in. My model has significantly more rivets. I went a bit hog wild with the rivets. Also, I left off the grenade launchers and the guns, because if you actually look at the model, these bolters on the top aren't actually mounted on anything. They're just sort of sitting on top of it, and when you actually look at them, I tried modelling them in. They looked a bit daft, so I just left them off. Likewise, these, I couldn't get these looking anything but a little bit silly, so I took them off, and maybe I'll approach them at a different time, but for now, we'll leave them off. Also, the other things that deviate from the standard on this model, as you can see, my handrails just go round like that, rather than going round like this. That's primarily because I had a hard time figuring out how to do junctions between connected cylinders. So I decided to leave that out and just go back to basics and keep it a nice simple handrail. So I think that pretty much covers all of the interesting things about this. Yeah, there's that project. So let's go to the current Rhino I'm working on. Excuse me, it's just stuttering a bit while the render goes in the background. I really should just go away from the rendering, but whatever. Here's Rhino 2. Now, apparently, this is a Mark IV Rhino. As you can see, I found a little modelling sheet on Google Images. Just pick that up from somewhere. And I've started out by making the wheel housing. Let's turn it onto solid so we can see it a bit better. Making out the wheel housing, and then I've created a plane here to do the detail for the door, which I will either stick into the wheel housing with a boolean, or maybe I'll do it manually. The wheel housing, I've gone as far as recessing the area for the tracks. I've done this little, actually, can I get the, let me just see if I can get Google Images up on the screen so we can just have a quick look at some reference. 40K Rhino. There we go. Now, can I get, I don't think I have this set up properly. Bear with me just one moment. I should be able to do this. Window capture. Firefox. Here we go. Let's make this a bit bigger so we can actually see it, and go to Google Images. So these are the things that I've been trying to model. This is the more recent. I think it's called a Mark IV Rhino. But as you can see, it's got this nice little recessed area here that's quite striking. You can do it in a nice separate colour. It's only got the one circular hatch on the top, although there are different layouts. As you can see, people have got, well, actually not here, but yeah, here, and this is a Chaos one. And this is some crazy madness. What the fuck is that? Oh my god. Primaris. Oh, yeah, they've got new Space Marines, haven't they? All very exciting. But basically, I've been using those modelling sheets and referencing Google Images to see what kind of details I should be putting in. And so far, I feel like I'm doing okay. The doors are in, well, the doors are modelled, and the side pieces are done. So maybe I should start thinking about doing this middle part. Let's have a little look. Let's go back to Blender. Excuse me while I turn off Firefox. There we go. Back to Blender and see what we can do in here. Now, what I have done is I've made this solid. And I'm not entirely sure that I need most of these faces here. And a lot of this geometry on this side has been bodged in and is a bit shonky. There's a lot of really quite weird edge loops going on here. Mind you, I can't say much different of this side. It's just that I've spent a bit more time aligning everything, trying to make it look a little bit neater. Ah dear, what to do next? Let's show you the door, just so you can get an idea of how far I've gone with that. As you can see, following the plan on here, there we go. Let's go to wireframe view. I've just gotten a plane, made it the right shape for the area around the door. I've recessed in these little bits here and these little bits around here. And so if we go over to Firefox again, you'll be able to see, where's this detail? Oh, these have all got special panels on them. None of them have got the box. Oh, here we go. Here's a box standard door. It's a bit of a small image though. Is there a bigger image with a box standard door? No? That's what I've noticed trying to model the Rhino. There are very, very many small images of them that you can't really zoom in to look at the details. Bit of a shame, really. Let's try and find something. What have we got? I don't like these airbrush paint jobs. They just don't look right. This looks nice. Lots of nice edge, like detail and stuff. These, they always look a little bit, I don't know. It's nice to get a gradient with an airbrush, says the man who can't actually paint miniatures, that hasn't done so since 1994. But, you know, I just think sometimes the edge highlight or the dry brush looks a bit better than the airbrush. Dear oh dear. Oh, look, someone else had the same idea. They've made one. This one's heavily adorned. That's even got a turret on it. Jesus. Here's a bog standard door, or close enough to it. Close enough. And it's a fairly big image. So let's look at that. View image. What? That doesn't... Alright, whatever. But you can see there's these little features here, recessed. That's one of the panels that I've sunk in, but they're much further apart on this reference. I don't have these little protuberances at the top, and I might get those. There's a little hinge here as well that I've modelled in. So maybe the protuberances are good, because they look like if it opened, it would dig into the ground and make a nice stable platform. I quite like those. Right, I'm going back into Blender again. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. So, do I put the little nubbin teeth on the top? It's fairly straightforward. We just need to divide up some of these little areas here and make some rectangles to extrude out. You know what? I'll leave it as it is. One final thing, I mentioned that there was the little circular hinge pieces. You see these? They're supposed to like rotate round when the door opens. So I just put those in. They're not full cylinders. There's like a recessed hole. I put some cylinders in there and I just cut away all the faces that weren't showing. And so it's just like a little arch with some end caps. In fact, I could take the end caps off. Oh no, I already did. I think I already took them off. Don't worry about the end caps. Everything's fine. So, back to looking at the big picture. There we go. Should I take the door off? Let's go and look at it in this view. I think the next thing to model is these smokestacks the exhaust pipes, it makes sense because they're a nice, easy hit. I don't have to reorient myself on the plan, and they are the major feature of the side. Maybe I could even go and do these recesses. I'm not going to model any of these bolts because I'm just going to instance a single bolt and then pop it all over the surface. That makes things a lot simpler. But these little nooks here, I think I'll model in. That makes sense. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that shouldn't be too bad. It's going to be some sloppy looking loop cuts, but we'll be fine. Nobody will die. So what do I want to do? Let's put the cursor there. Let's actually press tab so we're not selecting any of the stuff. That's right, isn't it? A. There we go. I'm not selecting anything now. Press Shift A for add. Get a plane out. Turn it by 90 on the y-axis. Type it in. That's quicker. Let's make it a little smaller. That's about the right size, and we'll move it on the y-axis to get it in the right position. Let's make it a shade larger. There we go. Then we don't have to bugger about with the width. If we get it right along one dimension, we don't have to do much with the rest of them. That's good. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so that's in position now. There we go. Let's select it again. Press tab. Grab the top edge. Shift it along the Z-axis. I mean, this isn't a tutorial. I don't know why I'm sitting here babbling on, telling you what I'm doing. This is just for interest. Although, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll do my best to answer. Can't guarantee I'm going to give you a good answer, but I'll try. GZ, let's move down to there. Fantastic. Then I think if we just select the whole face and say inset, move it down to about the right width. That looks good. Grab the bottom face, move it up to there. Nice, it's already taking on the right shape. And then what do we do next? You know what? I think we need to go onto the top. Let's look at it from the top. Okay. If I come to turn it just a bit, select the face. That's right. And then we look at it from the top again. You know what? I am going to have to move the camera, aren't I? We need the reference. That's fine. That's fine. So we want to look at it from the top. So I need to, first of all, select the camera. Deselect that. Select the camera. I want to go to 0 and 10 on the Z-axis. So we're looking that way. And we want it rotated 0 on the Z-axis and 0 on that axis. That's not correct. You know what? It can be. If I just go to the camera image there, we'll rotate it by 0 degrees. Which end's the front? The bottom's the front. Okay. That looks about right. And then we move the image along. This is the most fiddly part. I absolutely loathe mucking around getting this right. Let's go up and down. See, on the y-axis, it's quite happy. It's got into place quite quickly, but this X is quite fiddly. So 291. No, I want to go the other way. So 289. There we go. 288. Let's give it a crack. Let's see what 288 looks like. What do we reckon? I'll zoom in a bit tighter. You know what? We can go 287. I think we can go 287. That's about right. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so now we've got that lined up. Let's reselect that face. Oh, there we go. Tab, select the face, go back to the camera view, and we can... wait a second. Just noticed something. There's a little step here. I thought I could just pull it straight out, but we need to extrude it a bit first. So, back to looking at that. Let's select all of it, look at it down from the top again, or through the camera again. Make sure no snapping's enabled. Extrude on the X-axis, and then we take it out just to there. That looks good to me. Back around here, grab that face again, 0, and grab on the X-axis. And that can come out to there. It does feel like it needs to be either shifted slightly this way, or it could just actually that could just be my my camera lining up wrong. Let's just try lining up the thing a bit better on the y-axis. Negative 0.30. Yes, that looks perfect, doesn't it? That's just right. Okay, so now we've done that, one of the important things to do is get back into here, tab, there we go, select the, let's look at it from the side. Let's select this top bar here, there, that's it. Do snap to line, move on the z-axis. What? What's gone on there? Something stayed. Oh, of course, there's an inset face on the back side of it. That's fine. No need to worry about that. We can delete that later on. In fact, probably a good idea to delete it now. There we go. Let's go to the other side, select that. In fact, let's make sure there's no accidental bleed through. We'll go to solid mode, select the middle face, select the outer rim, go around to check there's nothing else. Good, and delete. Faces. Lovely. Delightful. Absolutely wonderful. So that's the basic shape there. We'll turn our things back on. Nice. Very nice. Go back to that, and I almost forgot. Another thing we want to do here is select the item as a whole, go to there, add modifier, mirror modifier, where's it gone? There we go, and mirror around the empty in the middle. There we go, that's both sides sorted. Don't have to model both sides of a symmetrical vehicle. Not that the centre's symmetrical, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I think I'll also add an array. Not like that, thank you very much. Is the array, how is that working then? Because it mirrors, then arrays. Surely if the array's first, it doesn't make a difference apparently. Strange. Okay, let's go back to the camera. Let's, instead of offsetting on the x-axis, offset on the y-axis and move that there. Can we do it? Is it going to be accurate enough to just do it with an array? I bet it's not. I bet I have to place it manually. Snaps won't be the increments. Oh no, the increment's going to be fine. Stop panicking, scoundrel. There we go. 3. There's no height differences there. Let's quickly go back to Z. We're in the orthographic mode. It looks fine. No need to worry. How about on the other side? Yep. All good. In fact, I haven't mirrored this either on the other side, so I should probably do that. Wait a minute. I have mirrored it, but it's not appearing. Huh. How strange. What have I done wrong there? Huh. Let's get rid of it. Bosh. Add a modifier. Add a mirror. Ah, that's done something. And then we sort by, hang on, we mirror around this empty. Ah, there we go. Just had to reapply it. I think that's because when I made the mesh, I just selected the faces on the original mesh and separated them out. And that took the modifier with it, but obviously didn't do it properly, so just had to be done again. Excuse me. I think I should probably remove the faces behind this, because that Z clipping is really ugly, like horrifically ugly. Let's take a look. Can I select both and then go into edit mode? Oh, I can. Marvelous. Absolutely marvelous. Now, what I could do is just put in loads of edge loops that line up with the bit that's on the door. However, that seems a little extravagant. I mean, some of them already line up quite nicely, but obviously we'd put more edge loops in down the line on this thing. I could just Boolean it. Shall I try it? I'll tell you what, let's try it. Let's select this one, and then we add a modifier, Boolean. There we go. And then we select plain 0, 0, 0. And we want union? No. difference. That sort of works. If we get rid of the... Oh, no, that doesn't work. Intersect. No, that also doesn't work. In fact, that's even worse. Difference then. No. Okay, hang on. That's not made any difference. It's not intersect. It's not difference. It's... Oh, maybe it is union, because even when I remove it, the impressions that I put on it stay there. No, I think a Boolean might be a bad way to go about this. I need to be a little bit more hands-on and figure it out. Let's get rid of that for now. Leave the door on, and we'll come back and figure it out later on. Maybe I should focus more on doing these smokestacks. Although, that said, I mean, the door detail might make sense. In fact, I now notice something I didn't notice before. There's actually a little bit of protrusion on the door. That, in fact, might make putting it onto the face of the vehicle significantly simpler. Okay, so let's try this. We select the door, we go into edit mode, and looking again, we see that it's this outer rim that protrudes a bit, and then the inner rim protrudes a lot. So I'm going to go back to the side view, and we're going to select everything. Now this could be an issue because there are some recessed faces, and if I try and extrude those, I'm not quite sure what's going to happen, but we'll find out. We'll find out. Let's extrude everything along the x-axis. Zoom in a bit as well. There we go, and bring it out to there. Nice, and we'll see how it looks. Is it okay? Okay, there's no obvious badness, so that's good. And then apparently what we want is this inner setup, but this is going to be hard because I can't just do loop selection. I'll tell you what I can do though. I can do circle select. There we go. Nice and simple. In fact, let's make that. Oh, careful. Is it this bit? Wait, I think it's just the inner door. Hang on. Let's deselect everything. Blah, blah, blah. There we go. Press C again. There we go. Let's paint in all these faces. I'm going to have to be careful that I get everything in the recesses as well. But I think we should be okay as long as I am careful. So we go. Actually, before I do anything else, let's save. There we go. Saved progress is permanent progress. Now, do I want to... I don't think I want to pull this inner lip out. I think just the surface is good. But we do want to get the inner lips on these face bits. So, wait a minute. They're already selected. The edge loops around here. Huh. Oh, we zoomed in a bit too close for that to be effective. However, these ones haven't been done. So Shift, Alt. Good. Are they selected or not? Let's get... It is face selection. Hang on. Presumably this easy check. Press G and pull them away. No, they are not. Unlock that as well. So select. G. Yet again. Oh wait, no, they are. Look, it's just that they're clipping through the rest of the vehicle. Duh. Okay, so that looks good. Let's go back to the surface, the top rather. Press extrude on the x-axis, pull them like that far out, and now we look at the door and see. Ooh, it looks pretty good. Solid. Tab. There we go. Can't really see the detail excellently, but it's not too bad. Can you see the recess around here, or is it gone? Press tab. It's definitely there still. Maybe I need to pull it to be a little bit deeper. That might make sense. Oh no, it's been pulled out. Look. That's no good. It's There we go. Oh, wait, no. Was it already pulled out? This is quite confusing. What's this rogue? It's a weird... Oh, no, I see. The edges are slightly twisted through this thing. Oh, okay. Okay. So I'll tell you what. We'll do this. We'll get these faces in a loop here. That's the whole thing round. Yeah. We'll go to the top view again. Look wireframe, and then we'll grab those faces on the x-axis and pull them back to here. There you go. Actually, let's be really swish about this. Let's snap them back so they actually line up. Grab X, find a vertex. There's got to be one around somewhere. Apparently not. Oh, because I didn't. That's why. GX and the ding, the dong, the dang. There we go. That's where we want to go. Lovely. And then we can choose those front faces again. Probably best to do that in solid mode. In fact, let's do it the same way we did last time with the circle select. Easy peasy. There we go. Good stuff. Nearly there. And selected. Lovely. And in that case, go back to the top. And extrude along the x-axis. And there we go. There's our door. It should be looking nice and chunky. Should have a lovely recess around it that goes nice and deep. Yes. Looks pretty darn good. Although I now don't see the... I know what happened to the cylinders. I didn't attach them to the mesh. They're independent. Where are they? Do I turn them off? No, these are the wheels. So where have the cylinders here gone? I know a good way to find them. There we go. What's that? Where are you? Plane 2... What? Okay, apparently they're planes now. They were introduced as cylinders, but fair enough. Let's select them both. Go into a front view. Where are they? There they are. And we just need to move them on the x-axis a bit. So GX. There we go. That should be right. They should be looking good. And they are. Nice. Nice. Are they mirrored properly on the other side? No, they are not. Let's select both of them. In fact, let's press, is it J to join them? No, Control J. No? Yes? Yeah, they're joined. Okay, good. Excellent. So we'll keep those together and we'll remove the mirror modifier and add it again just to make sure it appears on the other side. Mirror against the empty on the other side, and there it is. Fantastic. Lovely. Door's looking pretty sweet. Okay. Right, so what's next? We've done more detail on the door. We've started on the smokestacks. Is there any other detail along this side that can be added in? Looking from this side, there's some recesses here. But that seems fairly straightforward, and they're on both sides. Okay, that's good. Any details on this side? Not really. So sides-wise, we've got these little recesses at the bottom, and these recesses here. Or there's this circular thing here, and then there's this little recess detail here. Let me just look at the reference image. How does that actual recess detail look? Here it is. It's definitely there. Yeah, it's just like a... There's one here as well. Okay, anyway, enough. Let's go back to Blender and start working in there. Okay. Excuse me. So what to do? We could do the lights, actually. These little light fittings, they make sense. So if I say shift, let's put the cursor there, get out of edit mode. There we go, select nothing. Shift add, we want to put in a cube. We want to scale it so it's about the width of the light. Looks close. Zoom in a bit, get a better idea of what we're doing. Move it along the x-axis. Ooh, we were very close to right there. Just a smidge bigger. There we go. Moving along the x-axis again. Okay, if I hold shift, it will go a little bit smaller increments. There we go. And then we just move it, not on the z-axis, don't move it on the z-axis yet, that's not time yet. There we go, there's that. And then if we go into edit mode, choose the back face, back into top view, in fact back into camera view, and then we grab that along the y-axis. Hey, lovely. Okay, so now we need to look side on. So basically it just cuts into the thing there. Okay, easier way to do this. Let's take the camera. Hang on a minute. Tab, there we go. Grab the camera and move it so we're looking on the side again. Rotation wise, we want to go that way. 90. Why? What? That's not what I wanted. Thank you. And we have to move it along the figures. Where are we going? That's the z-axis there. Of course, we're 10 up. There we go. 0 on the z-axis. And then just move the reference image along the x-axis, I believe. So pro. So pro. Here we go. That's lining up pretty nicely. Maybe we need to nudge it a couple of notches, but that's not too bad. 0.213, 214. Nope, that's going the wrong direction. So 212. Better, but not quite right. 211. I reckon let's try just one more nudge. 210. Yeah. I'm happy with that. All the major details seem to be lining up okay. Cool, apart from this wheel, but that always lined up wrong. Okay, so here's our box. We need to move it. I can't see it anymore. Where's the new cube gone? Cube. Hello? There it is. Huh. Can't see it apparently. Grab on the z-axis. Hang on. Grab Z, move. It's not showing. It's very odd. Suddenly my mouse doesn't want to rotate along certain axes. What the fuck is going on? I've just realised what's going on. When we're in the camera, we're right in the middle and we're only looking on the other side, but there's no mirror on this yet. So we need to move the camera along the wire x-axis to 10. There we go. And now, when we look at the camera, we see the box. Fantastic. Good. Good. Okay, so let's move its location on the z-axis until it lines up nicely. Seems cool to me. Then we can take the... I'm really confused now. My mouse just will not rotate any other axes. Let's go. Okay, fair enough. It works now. Let's select the box. There we go. Select the back face. That's the one. We will go to side view. What am I going to snap it to? I think we're going to snap it to an edge. And I am going to grab it, move it along the y-axis, and, well, that's freaking useless. Huh. Just, what a load of old shite. Okay, what can I do about that then? Snapping, snap to a face, that might work. G, Y, screw you. Screw you, says the computer. Okay, if that's the way you want to play it, then maybe I'll just say grab it on the Z, GZ. Ah, okay. And then tab, got that face, brilliant. Grab on the Y, do it by eyeball. I'll have to do. And then, here's a snazzy little technique. We select these faces, edges, beg my pardon. There we go. And press W, loop tools, G stretch. Ah, look at that. Pulls them nice and flat against the edge. Shift, there we go. 3, W, loop tools, G stretch. And there we go. Used to confound me for hours figuring out how to do that. Finally, I figured it out. I can get corners on cubes to go into triangles. Fantastic. So, okay, maybe I need to check how wide these are supposed to be. Let's go back to here. Oh, I already did that, didn't I? I got them basically lined up, didn't I? Or did I? I don't remember, to be honest. Maybe we need to go back to the other view. Camera, please. There we go. 10 on the Z. And 0 on the X. And then 90 here, 90 here, and 0 here. Should give us... Yep, sort of. What have I done wrong? No, wait, no, we're seeing the thing side on. We don't want that. That's no use. That's the way to do it. 0. It's only 90 on the Z-axis. Okay, and then of course we need to rotate the background image again by 90 degrees, as one does, and line it up. Oh, hooray, hurrah. My favourite part. Let's move it on the y-axis first. Close. But, oh, that's closer to 289. 287. Let's try that. That looks pretty close. I think I can live with that. Let's try it on the x-axis. Whoa, settle down there. Don't go too far. That's it. That doesn't look bad. 2 point, let's call it 29. Is that good? Is that better or worse? I can't really tell. It's worse. Let's try 3.1. It's not much in between 2.30 and 3.1. Yeah, 2.30 will do. It's close enough. Close enough for reference. Okay, so what are we doing next? Let's have a little look. This box here, that's what we're lining up. I had already lined it up. That is a bit annoying, to be honest. just a shade. Nonetheless, let's take a look at what happens on the front of the vehicle in that box. Okay, so there's like a single round light with a wire mesh over it, and it lives in a recessed part on the front. I can deal with that. Go to 1, tab, select the front face. There we go, there's the front face. I'm going to inset that. Let's do it in solid mode though, otherwise we won't really see what's going on. There we go. Inset like that. About that much. Mind you, I could actually use the reference, couldn't I? I keep moving it into the wrong position. That's the problem. So we want it to rotate. Where do we want to rotate the camera? Tab. There we go. Not on the Z-axis. On the Y-axis? Yes, we do. We want it 90 on the Y-axis. And then, actually, which end am I looking at here? The back or the front? The back. I want to look at the front. So we also need to rotate on the X-axis 180. No, that's 10. 180. There we go. We need to be off the Z-axis and on the Y-axis. Let's call it -10. Brilliant. And then we just have to line up the bloody nonsense again. Hang on a minute. It's the wrong way round, isn't it? Can I do it with the nope or the nope or the nope? Let's just do it with this then. Rotation 90. No. Let's call it 270. Let's go the other way. Makes more sense. There we go. -90. That's better. Bang. And I'm pretty sure I can line that up. Calm down, scoundrel. Don't get too excited. Just line up the pictures. You know what you're doing. Well, I mean, you don't know what you're doing, but you're learning, so that's okay. Going 313, 293, 283. Let's call it 289. See how that lines up? Ooh, that's not bad. 289, 288. Ooh, that's looking better. Let's call it 287 and be done with it. Okay, it's not perfect, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. The next thing to do is look at this box. There we go. Excellent stuff. And we need to inset the faces, don't we? So let's go to the front face and inset that bad boy. Perfect. Maybe a little bit too big, actually. Let's try again. Inset. That should do. And then on that face, we need to put a circular doodad. But I feel like the best way to do that is just to put a sphere in, pop it down, and cut it in half. Yeah? Separate item, then join them. Seems good to me. So let's put a cursor in the middle. Get out of that mode. Press Shift A. Sphere. Where's the sphere? Mesh. UV sphere. Looks good to me. And then we take the scale down quite dramatically. For the radius anyway. There we go, until it's about the right size and in the right place. I want to move it in the Z-axis, don't I? Yeah, that's it. About the middle there. Calm down. It's jittery as hell. There we go. That's nice. And then if we look at it on the side. Oh, actually that positioning is not too bad. Holy shit. Bang on. Apart from the fact that it's a little bit, you know, squidgy. Let's say I want to scale that on the Y-axis. Is that going to look better? I'm hoping it is. Let's get it on the solid shading. Eesh, I've just realised that we didn't inset that face well enough. Well, we can deal with that now. Let's do that now. This face needs to be inset, except not like that, but like that. There we go. That's a little bit better. Nice bit of detail. And then we can grab the thing there, go back into side view, go back into that view, and then grab it along the Y-axis. No, don't do that. Turn off that first. Grab on the Y-axis. There we go. I'm not sure why I felt the need to do train noises, but I did, so that's where we are. Okay, I feel like maybe I've made a slight mistake with this squished sphere notion. And what I should have done, I probably still can do. Let's tab and then say, so deselect all the faces. Now, will this select through the mesh? That's what I want to know. Oh, no, don't do that. There we go. So we look at the side. Look at the side. Yeah, it does. But that's okay. We just deselect all this. Go back to mesh select and do this. There we go. That's what it's all about. That's it. Just these bits here. Don't want these. No. Take those away. Don't want them. But I do want these. That's it. Lovely. Good. Okay, let's look around. Got both sides. Not looking too bad there. Not missing any, are we? Maybe a couple here. But if I go to... You know what? Let's do select, invert, X. Faces. There we go. That's a bit better. And then if I say select all, and then go to the side and extrude, we get that, which is a bit weird, a little bit weird. Okay, I'm not entirely sure what happened there, so let's undo that. See what happens when we pull this away? There's no faces underneath. Very odd indeed. I tell you what we'll do is we'll see if we can get an edge loop around here. So if I say Alt, boo, it stops. Why does it stop? Because we have protruding faces. Not like that, like that. Yeah, there we go. Remove that face, and now how does the edge loop go? Ooh. Okay, presumably we've got the same face issue down the bottom. Yes, we have. So get rid of that face. Lovely. And then edge select. Doing even better. Except are we? Because it looks like we've run out of edge to loop on. Bugger. That's why it wasn't working. However, we might be able to get away by coming up here and saying, crap, we won't get away with it. Although, can we do this? No. X faces, there we go. What I'm trying to do is get a nice, that's not bad. That's not too bad. A nice edge loop that I can extrude from. So how about if we go over this side, try that, and then this side here, does that all connect up? Okay. Not really. But let's just select the faces. Okay, so we don't want that one. The rest of them don't seem too bad, to be honest. Got a fairly complete loop. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so we just want to get rid of this one rogue face down here. And a lot of our problems go away. Well, I mean, a lot of my problems doing this. Oh, look at that. Did a whole loop in one go. Fantastic. Okay, so we go to the side-on view. We extrude that along the y-axis just to make sure it doesn't go wrong. And then we've got a nice big chunk of it there. Get back into solid mode. Grab that. Oop, careful. Move it on the y-axis. Bang, that's better. A nice big light thing there. It still looks a bit buttony. Still looks like it's a bit of a button. So you know what? I'm going to tab out I'm going to, sorry, I say tab out. Let's, there we go. Tab into that. Select that edge loop of faces again. No, that one. And then extrude it. Actually, that's not right. I don't want to do that. Take that away. Say inset and then accept that, except instead of doing that, we go to depth. That's a bit better, isn't it? Just put a step on it. Just give it a little bit of a step. It makes all the difference, doesn't it? I mean, obviously it's not perfect, but it's better. And in fact, I think maybe what we could do is if we select this face loop, I accidentally press the Windows key there, we could also inset that. Let me just see how that works. Just a smidge. Just the teensiest, weensiest bit. And then we should be able to select that as well. And bear with me. Need to turn around, get in nice and close. Yeah, tits. Ah, there we go. Got it. And then this, no. So tough. Shift Alt. There we go. And that. Is that good? I think that's okay. And then we invert the selection. And we just pull it back a little bit. So we go 3, Z. Oh, for fuck's sake, got this ring selected as well. Let's see if I can deselect it. Alt Shift. There we go, that's better. And then we grab that on the Y-axis, pull it down a little bit to put a bit more detail on it. And then that actually, I think that looks even better. Just pulling it back a bit. Although, hang on a minute, is it really visible? No, I don't think it is it? I've just... Okay, I need it to... It's got extra extruded faces. Where have they come from? Now it looks really, really wrong. Oh, there we go. Did I accidentally... I must have accidentally extruded it twice or something. It's very annoying. Very, very annoying. Edit, redo. So, what I want to do is deselect that. No, you know what? What I want to do is leave it the fuck alone and not mess with it too hard. No, just forget about it, scoundrel. Maybe get rid of that initial inset on the top. There we go, that's better. Back to how it was. That looks fine. I'll just put 2 materials on it. I'll have an emissive material, an emissive material here, and then a rim material there, whatever it may be. We'll see. Okay, we'll leave those alone for now. The reference image does have like a cage thing over them, but I'll come back and do that later on, I think. Also, both these items here need mirror modifiers, don't they? Excuse me. Oh dear. Burping away. Let's mirror these around the empty, and then same with that. Mirror. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who was the fairest of them all? Not you. Oh, mirror, you bastard. Okay. Can't really see the details on the image now with the thing in the way. But then again, I could just go... That's the wrong thing. Where is it? Plane 001. There we go. Okay, we've got that detail in there. Don't know what that is. Black detail. I think it's just more of the side of this thing. Yeah, that's probably right, isn't it? Yeah, it's gotta be. It's gotta be. I'm thinking, actually, if we this isn't the worst place to be looking at putting these little features in, is it? Let's try that. So if we select them, press Control R. Actually, we should probably go into edit mode and press Control R. There we go. We've got this weird tilty thing going on. Also, we appear to be quite out on the x-axis. What's going on there? Okay, don't fuck around too much, scoundrel. Let's do this from the side-on view. It's going to make more sense. It's going to make a lot more sense from the side-on view. So, the side-on view, we need to be actually selecting the camera for a start. That will help. Tab, there we go. We don't want to be 10 off on the Y. We want to be 10 off on the X. There we go. And then we want to bring the rotation down to 0, 0, 0. And then, is it this one? It's not that one. It's that one. Right? Yeah. Yeah, right. Here we go. In fact, we could probably... Okay, I'm not quite sure how that works. Should be able to. Okay, let's go back to 0 on that. Okay, there's that. So we do 90 that way, and then 90 that way. Ah, perfect. That's what I was looking for. There we go. And then we just need to line up the reference once again. Oh, what fun. Oh, what fun it is to line up reference in Blender. Why Christmas carols? I'm not sure. But, oh, hang on a minute. I'm noticing an issue here. Yes, I appear to have done it back to front, don't I? In which case, let's say, which one is it? Z? Okay, on the Z, I want you to turn to negative 90. Boom. And instead of being at 10, I want you to be at negative 10. Haha! Correct way around. It's always Christmas somewhere in the world, says Claycrete. Maybe? I'm not entirely convinced that that's correct, but let's imagine. Let's imagine. I mean, it's always midnight somewhere around the world, but Christmas, that I'm not so certain of. Why? So 787, is it 788? Nope, it's the other way. 786. So, oh, 785 even maybe. That's not looking too bad. That seems to be lining up fairly well on the top. Oops, a daisy. The fuck? Oh, if you zoom in too close to the thing, it disappears. How odd. Okay, the door seems to be lining up okay. These seem to be lining up really nicely. Yeah, I think we're in the right place. Fantastic. In that case, let's get rid of that and just focus on these. These bad boys. Okay, this is the one that's the real one, isn't it? And the rest of them are all just fakes. Oh no! Oh, for Christ's sake, I'm looking on the wrong side. Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's all the same. It's all the same when you get down to it. We're seeing straight through. So we go up to here. And we'll set that to be... In fact, let's zoom in a bit. Oh, I can't. And... Physics. The physics of Christmas. Maybe. I'm not entirely sure, but maybe. So we're going to have to go full-blown 90 degrees over that way again. There we go. Do the whole, it's actually plus 10, not negative 10. And then I need to flip this horizontally, vertically. Yes. And then move this into position. Oh shit, not like that. That was nicely lined up on that axis. Good. And then we move this like this. Zoom in a bit. Oh, bugger it. Why can't I get closer? That would be so much nicer. Ooh, that looks pretty good. Let's try 2.9. even better. Maybe one more nudge, 0.028. Oh, I say. It's okay on... This one's a bit out. You know what? This one's the one that needs lining up. So let's go back to 2.9. Yeah, that's looking good. Okay, so tab. What to do? I think if we do the cuts like this, okay, and then we click there. Now, what we want to do is click on these vertices here. There we go. Grab them on the Z-axis, and then we need to use clipping. So vertices, grab Z, and line up to that. That's it. That's how it's done. Grab Z, line up to that. Brilliant. And then if we do another loop cut there, take it up to this bottom piece here. I said bottom piece. Obviously, it's not that funny. In fact, it's not funny at all. G, Z, let's line these up as well. Forgot about those. There we go. And then these can line up to that. Okay. And hopefully by doing this, the rest of my loop cuts will line up nicely. So if we go back to the side view, plan, nice. So any loop cuts between there should be nice and straight. Yes, lovely. Okay, so I know it's probably upsetting people that I'm eyeballing this, but what else am I going to do? I suppose I could sort of try and make sure that they're all at even separate spacings, but seems like a lot of effort. Seems like a lot of effort for a simple hobby piece. I just want it to look good. And again, maybe that's the only way to make it look good. Maybe if I don't do that, I'm only harming myself. Oh no! What the heck? A lot of strange curvature going on there. Don't worry though, we'll sort it out. I want that one. Thank you. Move on the y-axis. Oh no, I pressed the wrong frigging button. There we go. G, Y. There. This one. G, Y. If you press Y first, I don't know what it does, but it ends up duplicating bloody things. What are they called? Vertices. So you've got to be really careful. You want to press G, Y, not Y, G. I think that's good. Okay. Now, here's a piece that I'm not quite sure how to do. Hold on a minute. Let's grab that. Grab on the Y. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Without snaps. Without snaps. G. There. That's about right. And then this one. Alt. G, Y. About there. Look good to everybody? It looks quite good to me. Now, what I want to do is select, what faces do I want? I want to inset that as well, I think. Yeah, that. And, oh, careful, that. That works for me. This camera's in the bloody way when you're not trying to use it. There we go. And then this at the bottom. I said bottom again. Go. And if we go back to camera view, nice. Now, like I say, not 100% sure what I'm doing on this bit. Zoom out a bit. There we go. Shift. And then we try to inset it. Cool. We don't want to inset it with a thickness. We want to inset it with a depth, which means going down like that. And that might be all it takes. Offset even. Interpolate doesn't do anything. Don't want to outset. Don't want individual. I don't even know what edge rail does. Inset the region along existing edges. Oh, right, I see what that means now. Okay. Right, let's go look at it in that mode. What do you reckon? Look good? It's hard to say, really. Hard to say. Let me have a look at the reference. Let's go back over to here. There we go, Firefox. This is shit reference. Let's go back and look for another one. Something a little bit more high res, a little bit more explicit. Oh, this one appears, there's too much muddying on it. 400 by, no. Ooh, hello. Oh, it's the wrong kind of rhino. This one. 1600 by 111, 1112. There we go. Right, let's view the image. There we go. That's nice. Okay, so yeah, I think that works. If we just quickly look back from Firefox, I think that's okay. Yeah. I reckon I could live with that. Although there appears to be a visible lip now between these two. I might need to adjust it so that they're the right height. What's going on there? Why are you so wrong? 3. No, it doesn't look wrong there. It looks like it lines up perfectly, in fact. Maybe I need to attach them. If I attach them to the other mesh, then it'll look like a contiguous mass. Contiguous? Contiguous? Contiguous. I don't know. I know less about that than I do about the physics of Christmas. Christmas. You know what this thing could do, though? These back faces here, they're not needed, are they? They're just clashing. Yeah, it looks better without them. Let's get rid of them. No. Oh, that's better. Yeah, that definitely looks better. Plenty of improvement. So we got those made now. What else can we see? There's these little chimneys. We can pop them on top. And then there's starting to do the middle section. Slightly daunting. I'm not quite sure how to approach it. Do I extrude out of these, or I start with a separate central box? You know, I think actually making a central separate box might be sensible. Although it's not symmetrical, the central piece, so maybe I need to think about doing something else other than just a box. Maybe I should. Think about that when you get to it, scoundrel. I think smokestacks is probably the best bet right now. So, do that. Click on there. That looks cool. We will shift add mesh cylinder. It needs to be significantly smaller. Actually, it also needs to be rendered in wireframe so we can see. Let's get some of the depth away. Move it up. That's not up, that's along. That's up. There we go. Less depth. Move it down. Ooh, that's looking alright. Starting to look good. Why? Just about right. How close can I get before I get clipping? That close. That looks about right, doesn't it? It's not perfectly central on this thing, but it is on the drawing. Maybe I should just be a stickler and go for making it central on the actual thing. Let's have a look what it looks like if I move it. About there. It's not that far off the drawing, is it? Looks alright. It's probably gonna need shifting. Yeah, it's way too big. It's far too bloody big. Don't know what I was thinking. Radius, much smaller, please. About that big, maybe. In fact, let me look at the reference quickly. I won't bother taking you over there straight away. Oh, it does go a bit onto the side. Okay. Okay, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I do want the reference, the radius just a little bit bigger, and the positioning just a little bit there. Although that does seem pretty fucking big. The size of that. we go over to the reference again, sorry, excuse me, over to the reference again, it doesn't look that big, does it? It looks relatively small. Let's look at it from front on. Maybe we just need to shift it a little bit that way. G, X. I don't know. Sort of right, but not quite right, if you see what I mean. Still, let's try. If we do this, and then we extrude on the z-axis, that is not extruding on the z-axis. That is doing a very pretty twisty thing. I don't know what's going on there. Let's try that again. Extrude on the z-axis. Lovely. Fantastic. Don't know why that didn't work in the first place, but okay. Is there a little bit of a slope on it? Let me have a look at the reference. So I've had a look at the reference now, and I see that there's technically not a slope, but there are little branchy bits coming off on the model. But we can leave that as it is for now, I think. Maybe I'll try scaling it. Does that look better? I think it does, actually. Okay, that's cool. And then if we inset it again, I've just realised that we can do this and extrude on the z-axis down. Hey, that's nice, isn't it? Gives us a bit of depth to it. That's not really on the model. The model technically has a sort of cap over the top of it. In fact, it's just flat. Just a bit weird. You'd expect an exhaust pipe to have stuff out the top. But who am I to argue? Who am I to argue? Now, in order to get the holes you see in these, I'm going to need to do some booleaning. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it, because otherwise I feel like I'm going to get too bogged down in details when I should be doing bigger shapes. I've already spent ages fiddling with this door and these lights, so maybe I should think about getting onto the basic forms at the centre. Well, then again, I am tempted to fiddle with this a bit longer. Is there anything I can do with it? Oh, I know what I can do to make it work better. You can put some mirror modifiers on it, or a mirror modifier on it. Boom. From the empty. Lovely. I should probably name most of these parts as well, otherwise it's going to start getting a little bit difficult finding what I'm looking for. But after we've done that, we'll add an array modifier. Please don't do the array on the x-axis, do it on the y-axis. Go. Actually, I should probably see what the offset on these is, shouldn't I? The offset on those is relative 4.160. So if I copy it... Oh, wait. No, hang on. That won't work at all. That won't work at all. It's not how numbers work, scoundrel. Try the right way. That's better. Do it by eye. Lovely. Actually, they're both hovering just above the thing. G, Z. Oh, there we go. Just slightly through the mesh. It's not the best. It's not the worst. Is it on both sides? It's on both sides. I'm going to put the array at the top, just because I feel better that way. I'm not sure it has any effect whatsoever on the thing in general. And also, I'm going to save, because otherwise we could lose all this sweet progress. And if there's one thing that's frustrating, it's losing sweet, sweet progress. You see, now there's no rim. When you go into the rendered mode, there's a rim on this bad boy, but not here. That's not visible. Okay. There's not really a rim visible at these points either. It's just this one. Why? Why? Tab. I say, and then that and that. Let me say GZ. Bonk. There we go. Actually, looking at the reference images and going back to solid, it looks like the door, this bit of the door actually goes a bit over the edge, doesn't it? So maybe I need to actually extrude in the Z-axis. No, not with the thing. Take off your clips, your snaps. Extrude, Z-axis. Not happening. Why? Extrude, Z-axis. Huh? Try that one again. What? Grab Z. Oh, fuck's sake. Grab Z. Bang. Done. That's all at the right height. Fantastic. Have I got back faces on this? No. Took them all off. In fact, didn't ever have any back faces. It was a single plane. Okay. So what I want to do is, I just want to extrude this middle one, and then it needs to be all of them on the top. It needs to be everything. Dun, 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 dun. Extrude 0. 0 is not what I wanted. Z is what I wanted, but now it appears to have. Fuck's sake! How am I fluffing this up so badly? Right, let's try that one more time. No clip, no snaps on. Extrude Z, and as soon as I press Z, it stops. Oh, it goes to the. Global. Grab Z. Boom. There we go. Jesus Christ. It only took a second of realization, but I got there in the end. So then we'll just do this. Look at the reference from the top. How far in does it go? Not far. Extrude on the x-axis like that. What was I seeing there? 7. Extrude x-axis like that. Is that right? Still needs a bit longer, doesn't it? GX. That looks acceptable. Yeah, that's fine. Very purdy. Very purdy and dirty. Well, that's supposed to be pretty indeed. It's pronounced wrongly, but I ended up making it sound totally wrong. So, these little inset details over here are kind of nice, but they're also getting lost in all this detail. What I need to do is go into... Oh, damn it. Is that the right face? Okay, that's the right face. Maybe I could just do some cheeky cheating booleans. That might make sense. So if we go and I make a little rectangle there and just put it on an array like that and then boolean it out, it's gonna mess with the edge loops. It's gonna make it hideous, but it's already not gorgeous. I mean, that much we can all agree on. I mean, sure, it does the job. If you go to solid, it looks about right. But, boy, you look at the wireframe, it's a hot mess. Actually, I have done a lot worse, to be honest. This is not as hot a mess as it could be. Certainly, I have produced far greater quantities of cack. Oh, thank you. What I like about this is, compared to the... Let me save, just in case we lose. Compared to the other Rhino that I did, this one has got much more complicated geometry on it. The other one's quite a simple shape, quite a very simple model, in fact. Whereas this one, you have to scratch your head a bit more. Like the insets on these exhausts and the little inset bits on the doors, they all require just a little bit of thinking about to try and figure out what to do. The tracks I'm going to use the same idea for. The worst part of doing tracks the way I do them at least, is that you make one piece of tread and you instance it along a curve all around these wheels, which is fine, but getting a curve around those wheels is so fiddly. I mean, Jesus crisps. Also, I realise now that I've duplicated this bad boy and it's separate from these, and I wanted to just model one wheel and then have it instance along. But now what I've done is I've created myself 3 separate wheels that all need to be modelled identically. Yay! Forward thinking. What a fantastic planning, scoundrel. Okay, just having a quick check on my reference there to make sure that these lights are actually on both sides. And the reference says yes. So hooray! Hurrah, hooray. Hooray, hurrah. Training bra. Oh dear. That sounded a lot creepier than it needed to. Maybe we do modelling from the top to put the central piece in? Because obviously we can't model it from this angle. That's just not going to work for me. So we go to 10 height on the z-axis, 0 on the x-axis. We need to be basically just looking down on the z-axis. Boom! Lovely. And then if we go into wireframe, zoom in a bit, and then we can move the reference image. There we go. Look at that. Lovely. Close, but no cigar. 288. Oh shit, that's nice. Is that good? The smokestacks all line up. And we can actually line up these much nicer now. Okay, so move on the x-axis. GX. That's it. That's it. That's where it's supposed to be. Although it doesn't quite work mirrored on the other side. I don't know why. Slightly offset. Bit disappointing. Although maybe that's just maybe that's just an offset error that's compounded, because it's mirrored. It has to be in the same place. So yeah. Well, just pretend that's not a problem. Or we could go into the actual thing and take a look. Do I want to do anything? Merge? No. Clipping? Sure, they don't touch, so it doesn't matter. Bisect? Don't even know what that means. It'll be okay. How does it look when we just look at it without the reference image? Adequate. Just about adequate. Okay, so let's set the cursor to the world origin. Bonk, and then add a cube. And then from the camera view, we need to, what do we need to do? Make its size a bit larger. If not perfectly the same size as its gap, at least close. And then I don't think we need to change the location at all, because we're going to do most of the editing in edit mode. Oh, okay, it's about the right height too. It's convenient. Oh, well, that is not what I was expecting, but sure. So move along the y-axis, and that's where it finishes. And then this one, also move along the y-axis, and we need to actually adjust the camera. Oh, we were quite close. GY, about that should do the trick, right? And then we select that face, back from the top, zoom in a bit, select clip to there, GX, bang. Same over here, GX, bang. Bingo. Not bad at all. So we've got the top-down view absolutely sorted. Now we need to look at this end. If I rotate the camera, hang on. If I rotate the camera on the y-axis, actually, first. There's the front. There's the back. So we go negative 90. Boom. We're no longer there. Oh. What? Okay, that's cool. That's cool. And then all we have to do is move it along the x-axis. Say all. I mean, we have to actually line it up, which is slightly more effort than I was expecting it to be the first time I tried it. But it didn't do too bad. Look at this. This isn't bad at all. This bottom line here is in almost the perfect place. Still, let's not say almost. Let's be a little bit more precise. That's not what I wanted to move. I wanted to move on the x-axis. There we go. Or even holding down shift, it doesn't like it. 672. Let's call it 673. See how that looks. Hopefully this isn't boring you all to tears, because it is a little bit mumbly. Me sitting here, going backwards and forwards, and recording for an hour and a half. Nobody's going to watch this YouTube video. Nobody. People trying to learn Blender are going to go, this is useless to me. People who know Blender are going to go, this guy's useless. And the people who just don't know, well, they won't ever look for it, will they? We go to there. I think we go to there. I'm just going to quickly go to the reference. I'm sorry for not taking you with me. I'm just going to check. No, they are supposed to come up pretty much evenly in line on the top. Ah, and at the front. Okay. So this... Oh, wait. Let me check that again. Okay. So the little round hatch and the bolter are both on a slightly raised plinth, which goes above the height of the edge of the thing. So we really just want it to be at the same height. So we'll do that. So GZ bang. There we go. And then we can put turrets up on there in other ways. Good. So let's try that again. Okay, the body shape is starting to take form. We do need to move this though. I've just realised that the bloody camera's right in the middle of the thing, isn't it? That's probably going to cause problems. -10. There we go. Better. These lights aren't lined up as well as I thought they would be. Then again, give them a little tweak. Shouldn't be too difficult. Does that look better or worse? So, well, with that big block in the middle, it does look kind of goofy, doesn't it? Sorry, being a dickhead. Right, let's go back to here. Look at the bottom. Actually, that's pretty much lined up as is, isn't it? Doesn't need much messing with. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. We can leave it at that for now. We need to look at the front. We're already looking at the front, aren't we? Idiot. Yeah, so if we do loop cuts around here, and along here, we should be able to push those into the right distances. We'll see. We shall see. Hang on, can I select this? There we go. Tab, Control R. Go. Loop cut there, and a loop cut here. Ah, I've just realised one of the reasons I wanted to do the extruding is because I think if you look at this little detail here, that lines up with this sort of inset. For God's sake, this sort of inset panel bit here, which actually doesn't seem like it's beyond the realm of possibility, even though the front doesn't line up properly. Let's sort that out, shall we? GY. That said FY. Damn it. GY. There we go. Oh, for fuck's sake, I pulled the face off. That looks better. Let's take out that edge cut as well. No more edge loop. Bang. There we go. Side on view. G, Z. Not Z. Y. There we go. Bang. Okay, that should line up nicely now. Go back to the surface view. Or the front view, sorry. Still looks good. Still looks okay. It's not too bad. So we look at the side. We say deselect all those. Go Control R that. Pop that just there. And then we grab it on the Z axis and it snaps to there. Perfect, I think. I think this is what I should be trying to do. Okay, yeah, and that lines up with this here. Okay, the proportions aren't perfect in these drawings, I think. There's a slight discrepancy between the different projections, but it's close enough that we'll get away with it. So, next thing we need to do is... I've just realised the reference rhino I'm looking at is a fucking scratch-built copy. God damn it. It's not the one I wanted. It's not the one I wanted. Oh, actually, no. No, actually, I'm seeing different things in the reference now. I think there are various rhino kits. Oh, no. I was being a little bit too keen to line this up with that thing because they're not perfectly lined up on the model. But I think if I do make them lined up, that might be cool. GZ lines up with, you know what? Let's line it up with a vertice instead of that. So GZ and that there. Oh, I've just realised this front face is all wrong, isn't it? It should be lined up with that there. Shit. Face. And then snap to vertices, G, Y, there. That's what I wanted. That's a bit better, although you can't see diddly squat in the wire mode like that. There we go. Brilliant. Which means also this edge loop here needs to come down. So let's do that. G, Z, yeah, there we go. Nice. Beautiful. Beautiful rhino. Beautiful rhino. Beautiful rhino. Beautiful rhino. Now, the problem with the side projections here is we can't really see how far forwards and backwards this bottom piece goes, can we? But if I go here, we can see where the loop cuts are and where it stops and starts. So this here, this section should be flat, and then that there. Let me have a quick look at the ref. Okay, yeah. So let's go back a bit. This is flat. This slopes up, and oh, my brain's hurting. It's too late at night. That's why I'm streaming and doodling at 2:25 in the morning. And realistically, I should stop being so silly, shouldn't I? I should really stop being so silly. Okay. It's not much to look at right now, but once I start getting all this stuff lined up. So this, oh, that's not what I was expecting. Okay, this panel here, that stays vertically oriented. However, this stuff here all starts to slope back at different degrees. How does that work then? Hang on. Okay, no, it is interesting. I've been relying too eagerly on the reference. I think I might have this slightly out of whack. Interesting. Let me try seeing how this works. So this one, this. W loop tools G stretch, and I want you not to stretch on the X, only on the Y. Sorry, only on the Z and the Y, but that's not worked at all. Not what I was hoping for. I may need to rest my brain, to be honest. I feel like I've hit some kind of impasse. Let's go back to the reference image, see if I can get any clues. See if I could just see through here to sort of the relationship of these lines and this line. I'd feel a lot more comfortable, but I don't. Oh, look, there is actually an inward... Is that an inward slanted face? Got to admit, not a lot of these pictures of rhinos are actually showing the underside. The ones I'm using for reference basically all show it from the same sort of 45-degree from above shot. Still. Actually, I might be misinterpreting this actually. This face here is the one that's for this one? It's difficult to say. God damn, these axes are fucked. Okay, this is the flat one. That one goes back. Yeah, okay. And then this one goes back at the bottom. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. So what we should be seeing, this is not the correct amount at all, but so just pop that back a bit. There we go. That's even now. That's already starting to look better. And then we take this and this. Do that. Aha. Okay. First, turn our snaps back on. Boom. Okay. That's good-ish. And then... presumably this top bit, if we go side on, Z goes back, GY to there-ish. Yeah? Don't know about that actually. Seems a bit nah. Oh, God, every time we come out of this poxy view, it's not the worst. It's not terrible, but it's not right either. I think lining this bit across here up is a bit of an error because it's not perfectly lined up in the images I've got. On the model, it appears that there's actually, I think it's put together in the same way the old Rhino was. So the two tread pieces on the side that house the tracks, they're sort of stuck onto the central piece independently. I mean, obviously you don't build the model with a mirror modifier, but you get what I mean. So maybe... Oh, actually, a rather nice reference on the Games Workshop website. Let's have a little look here. That's not bad. Oh, I like that. Okay, this is good. This is good. So yeah, this bit here, it sort of lines up at this indentation here and then completely ignores this bit down here. So this lining up is all wrong. That is all wrong. So what do we do? Which way does it go? Oh, sorry. I mean, when I said that, what I meant was this lining up here, oh, for God's sake, this lining up here is all wrong. So we've got to change it. So I'm going to take another peek at the reference and note that. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Okay. 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 I think I see where we're going wrong here. Now, first of all, let's line that up. No, I don't want to extrude. Sorry. Z W loop tools G stretch, and then this side. Has that got it? Yeah. W loop tools G stretch. There we go. So now they actually line up properly, and with that, maybe. Yeah, we don't want to, that's too high. We want this one to actually line up there. So 3 Z G Y there, G Z there. Okay, that is the point we want them to line up. And this needs to come forward a smidge, just a smidge. You understand? Nothing too dramatic. G on the Y. Hang on, turn off your things. There you go. G Y. A bit. How does that look? No, it should never come up higher than there. So we want, oops, that top piece moved down. Okay. Okay-ish. I don't think so. Let me try my reference. Okay, it's not miles off. Comes down fairly substantially straight. Chonk. And this is inset as well. I've got to remember. Oh, is it though? This is stuck out. This is extruded. Maybe I'm spending too long. I've been streaming for 2 hours and it's now 2:30 in the morning. So I feel like perhaps it makes sense for me to call time tonight. Yeah, I think so. Let me save this. There we go. And let's head back to the home screen just so I can sign off because I'm getting a little bit sleepy now. Hello. How you doing? Right, so who have we got? Well, there's a few stragglers hanging on. I'm assuming that's you, Claycree, in the chat. I'm seeing 4 people. I bet Fuzzy's still there. Yeah. And, oh, maybe Sergeant Indy as well, by the looks of things. Thanks for hanging around. There will be some more Blender coming up in the future, but I can't say when, because, let's face it, we've got to do more Dwarf Fortress. We've got to finish Resident Evil 2, which I haven't played for a week. So, come on, let's not let that fall by the wayside. And yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of other stuff I'm supposed to do. I have been meaning to set up some Warhammer Total War games, try and get some multiplayer going on that. So if anyone's got it and they're interested, let me know, and I'll try and arrange some sessions for us all to try and have a tournament or something. We'll see what goes on. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. It's been a genuine pleasure streaming for you. I'm going to forgo the credits tonight and just end the stream. So see you guys next time. The next scheduled stream is Friday, and I will definitely try to do so. Oh, sorry, no, the next scheduled stream is Thursday. Sorry. And I will try to get something done in between then. Maybe even a daytime Resident Evil stream just to get it finished. Anyway, thanks a lot. I'll see you guys around. Bye. Oh, and the YouTubers. Bye.